welcome to today's Pilates workout. I hope that you're ready for a lovely hour of exercise using our resistance bands and our weights today. Now we're going to be starting off in line, practicing some of our shoulder and hip exercises, then coming into some curl-ups with single and double knee folds, working into our 100 and then coming over onto our sides to work through our legs and our hips. Today, as usual, you'll need your exercise mats. I'd like you to have your cushions for your heads. You're going to need a light pair of hand weights. These are just 1 kilogram, and you're going to need your resistance band as well. Okay, so as usual, if there is anything that we do that doesn't suit you and your body, take a rest. Take any other modifications I give you as well, and just listen to your body. So if you have something going on that doesn't feel quite right, just take a break or go into one of the modifications. So we're starting today in relaxation position. So I'd like to bring yourself around so that you have your head on your little cushion, and you're going to come around and lie down into our standard relaxation position. So we have got the weight going down through the back of your head, the back of your rib cage and the back of your pelvis. Let's just glance down and make sure that both sides of our waist are nice and long, and we have our knees bent and our feet on the floor hip distance apart. Just thinking about the thighs dropping down into the hip sockets. You're just going to try and get nice and relaxed through this area rather than gripping and holding through your quads. And I'd like you just to take your hands onto your rib cage to start with. So just feel around, make sure your hands are here, shoulders are relaxed, and we're going to take a nice deep breath in. Widen deep into the rib cage, and then as you breathe out, relax down. So we're just using our hands for feedback about what is going on today. Breathing in and breathing out. Superb. And again, breathing in and breathing out. Wide and deep here. And a few more times. Perfect. 2 more times like this. And last one, just releasing any tension in your shoulders that you might be holding. Fantastic. Okay, so bring your arms back down by your sides. You're going to think about our tummy button being north and our pubic bone being south. And we're just going into a really lovely, easy pelvic tilt. Just a gorgeous way to warm up. So as we breathe out this time, I'd like you to start rocking your spine back to imprint the lumbar spine. Tummy muscles come down and into your tummy button. And then as you inhale, you just arch away. So it's a really lovely, easy pelvic tilt that we've got going on. Rocking back and arching away. Nice and smoothly here. Rock back and arch and again. So we're trying to keep the rest of our body completely still, so your head and shoulders shouldn't be moving at all. It's literally just your pelvis. You might have a tiny bit of movement in your legs, just as a result of what's going on here. And I'd like you, as you warm up, just to try and get a little bit more into that movement. Keeping your shoulders relaxed down. And we'll go 2 more times. And last one here, arching away, and then come back through to your center position. So now, thinking about north and south, we also have east and west. So we've done our north to south movement. We're now going into an east to west movement. So just dipping one hip down as the other hip raises, and then going the other way. So it might feel a little bit weird because our forward to back movement is a little bit more intuitive and natural. But this is just a gorgeous movement to try and get that strength through the deep core muscles, but also a tiny little side-to-side rotation through the base of the spine. So I feel like I'm having to use my feet and legs quite a lot here, but I'd like you to try and hone the movement so it's just the hips going from side to side. You might find that having your hands on your hips helps you with that as well. So that's a nice option to do. So going from side to side like this. shoulders relaxed and down, jaw released. 2 more times. Last one. And back through to centre. And now we're going to add all of those movements together to come into a compass. But I would like you to start in the opposite direction to which you usually go. So I usually go in a, I don't know, is it an anti-clockwise? No, clockwise direction. So this time, if you go clockwise, go anti-clockwise to start and vice versa. So we're trying to roll an imaginary marble around every single point of that imaginary compass here. Rolling around nice and smoothly. And your legs might just go forward and back slightly in response to what your pelvis is doing. And all the time we're just breathing normally here. Perfect. 2 more times round in this direction. Brilliant. Coming back through to neutral, and now let's reverse. Go the opposite way. Nice and smoothly round here. So hopefully that feels a little bit more natural. Although, to be honest, going the other way first didn't feel as weird as I expected. So nice and smoothly, we're just warming up through the lumbar spine and our muscles as well, round the tummy. Two more times here. And our last one here, coming back through to centre position. Well done. So now, finding neutral spine and pelvis, we need to make sure we've got plenty of room around us as we're going into a shoulder warm-up, beginning with our arm circle. So I'd like you to reach for your middle finger before you start. Take a breath in, and now as you breathe out, float the arms up and back into a regular rib cage closure, keeping your rib cage down and heavy, and then big circle around to bring your arms back through to your start position. And we'll go again like this. So we're just reaching through the middle finger, getting lots of movement in that shoulder joint, and then big circle around. And again, breathing out, up and back. Inhale and circle, and just assessing whether one arm feels any different from the other. Breathing out, and in, and again. Exhale, inhale. Oh, I've got a big clunking going on in my shoulder. Last one here, up and back, and reaching all the way through. And now let's reverse, go the opposite way, 6 times the other way, trying to get as much movement as you can through here, up and down. And again, just like with those compasses, we're keeping everything else in our body as smooth and as still as you can. So really just working on the shoulder joint here. Moving around, circling over. Great, 3 more times. And 2. And our last one now. Big circle around. And arms come up and over. Well done. So, just double check what's going on in your body. Find neutral spine and pelvis again. And from here, we're going into our lying windows. So, floating our arms above our shoulders, palms facing forward to begin, hands directly over the shoulders. Taking a breath in to prepare. And as we breathe out, we draw the elbows down towards the floor. Then rotate back, reach through your hands and sweep the arms all the way back up through to our start position. Okay, let's go again. We breathe out, draw down, still breathing out, rotate back. So your upper arms are just rotating in the shoulder sockets. Inhale, press through, exhale and up. We'll go to 8 of these. So again, keeping your body completely still, we're just focusing on the movement at the shoulders. Draw down, rotate, press through, and again. Really focusing on this clean, precise movement. And our last one here, drawing down, rotate, press, and through, and bring the arms all the way down. So we now have the option of doing 8 more regular ones like that, or you can grab hold of your hand weights, mine rolled away, and we're going to do the same with our hand weights. So if this gets too much, just pop them down, but I'd like to really challenge yourself and see if you can get the same precision with the hand weights in your hands here. So back into neutral spine and pelvis, double check your position here, and then one weight in each hand, arms above your shoulders. Breathing in to prepare, breathe out, draw the elbows down, rotate back, press, and through. Draw down, rotate, press, keeping your ribcage heavy and down, and bring back up. So hopefully feeling just a little bit more challenging than the previous exercise, especially when you're working against gravity to bring your arms back up to their start position. Rotate, press, through, and 3, and 2, and our last one here. Down, rotate, press, all the way back up, and arms come back down by your sides, nice and smoothly. Well done. So popping the weights out to the side, let's just make sure we feel really relaxed in our shoulders. We're just going to finish our warm-up by going into some knee openings. So neutral spine and pelvis, hands onto your hip bones once again, if that suits you. And we're just rolling on the edge of the foot to bring the knee out to the side and draw that knee back in. And we can go to the side, breathing out to open. Ooh, that feels really stiff for me. Inhale, draw back. Exhale, open. Inhale, return. Exhale, open. Inhale, return. So lovely and smoothly going from side to side. Open, return, open, return. So toe muscles coming down and in here. Good. And just seeing whether one side feels any different from the other. For me, it totally does. Let's go 3, and 2. I've got so much more movement on one side than the other, it's ridiculous. And our last one here. Opening out, draw back in, exhale, open, and draw back in. Well done. So from here, we're now going to get hold of our resistance band. We're coming into a climb the tree prep. So to start with, we're just going to thread the band around the back of the thigh and bring that knee in and hold the band tight in your hands like this. So we're just going into a lengthen and lower. So the thigh is supported by the band, and if you need to, you can take that band further out to give yourself a little bit more stretch in your hamstring. But it's just nice to use the band to support your leg as you do this. So we breathe out, lengthen that leg as much as you can. Inhale, close. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, close. Breathing out. In. Out. In. Oh, it's feeling a little bit achy. 2 more times here. Exhale. Inhale. exhale, and inhale. Well done. So pop that foot down, let's go on to the other leg. Bring that knee in, wrap the band around the back of the leg, and we'll go the same here. So lengthen and lower. And again, you might find that one leg feels totally different. For me, this just feels so easy. On my right leg, I was really struggling to get any length in there. So gorgeous way to open up the back of the hamstrings, especially when you've got that band just kind of supporting and giving a little bit of a massage as well. Perfect. 4 more times here. Lengthen, down, 3, 2, and our last one, lengthening the leg up and lower down and pop that foot back onto the floor. So now from here, we're going to pop the foot itself in the band. So we're starting in a single knee fold, holding one end of the band in each hand, and now from here we lengthen that leg up fully and then bend that knee back in. Exhale, lengthen. We're going to do 6 of these. Inhale in. Breathing out, so using the band to help, but also give you something to push against, which is a really lovely way of getting that length in the hamstring. Perfect. Let's go 3 and 2 and last one, lengthening away. Pause here, inhale back in. So now I'm going on to the other leg and doing quite a nice mobile stretch here, dynamic stretch even. I'm going to do exactly the same here. So lengthen, return. And again, just see if anything feels different. Lengthen, return. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and our last one now, lengthening up and down. We're going to stay on this leg and just go into our static hamstring stretch now. So lengthening that leg into the band and feel that lovely stretch all the way at the back of the leg. Whew, so just trying to relax into this position here, which is quite challenging. So try and release that leg, release any tension you're holding, and just enjoy that hamstring stretch. Applying a little bit more pressure if you can. Good. Maybe drawing in a little bit more. 2 more breaths. Bend that knee in, pop that foot down, and let's go on to the other side. Just so band goes around the other foot. We're going to lengthen that leg up towards the ceiling. See if this feels any different now. You've gone into a little bit of mobility. And enjoy that stretch at the back of the leg. So really relaxing into it here. Good. Applying a little bit more pressure if you can, drawing that leg in even more. Bending that knee in and then popping that foot down onto the floor. Well done. Okay, so popping the band down to your side now. Let's check our neutral spine and pelvis. Do a few little pelvic tilts if you need to. And then take your weights, one in each hand, and bring them up above your shoulders. We're just going into a really easy fly from here. So make sure you have plenty of room around you. You need to have a little bend into your elbows, and from here we breathe out to open our arms out to the side, and inhale, draw our arms back up to start. So we're opening out, inhale back in. Breathing out, so it's like you're a giant pincer. This is a fab one for our arm and our shoulder strength, getting the shoulders moving on the back of the body, and just challenging ourselves because we're working against gravity as we go into this pincer-like fly. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and our last one. Okay, and so now we're going to combine this with a single knee fold, so working into our coordination a bit more. So as you open the arms out, I'd like to simultaneously float one knee in. Inhale, lower and down. Going to the other side. Exhale, float. Inhale, down. Now we're keeping our body completely still, including our hips, so no side to side movement. Bring that knee in, lower down. Exhale, float. Inhale, down. So you should hopefully feel you've got a little bit of a connection through the lower tummy area. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Lovely. 2 more times. Breathing out and in. Out and in. We'll just finish off on the other side now. Exhale. Well done. And inhale. Brilliant. And then float your arms down. This is a gorgeous one because it really gets you thinking about your coordination, and combine those two unusual movements can feel really quite a challenge, especially when you first start. So, time to get a little bit of movement through with our curlers, which I haven't really done for quite a while. So let's push our cushion away, double check neutral spine and pelvis to begin, and then clasp your hands behind your head. Now from here, you should be able to see your elbows in your peripheral vision. Knees and feet are really strong hip distance apart, and make sure your head is super heavy. So just practice lifting up your head. You should find that there's no strain in your neck. So you're going to take a nice deep breath in, and then from here, we nod the chin, soften the breastbone, and start to curl up. Gaze goes between your knees, pausing here, and then we lengthen back down with control. So we're going to tuck and roll up. Make sure you don't jam your chin into your chest. Toe muscles down and in. Pause. And lower back down. Good. And again. Breathe out, curl up. Inhale. Come down. Exhale, curl. Inhale, down. We'll go 3 more times like this. Breathing out, in, out, in, and our final one. Exhale and inhale. Well done. So now adding in that single knee fold again. So we're doing exactly the same movement, but now adding in that knee fold, we breathe out and simultaneously bring the knee in at the same time. Inhale, lower down onto the floor. Exhale, float. Inhale, lower. So we're going from side to side, alternating legs, trying to keep the neutral spine and pelvis. Lift and lower. Exhale. Inhale. So toe muscles coming down and in now. Exhale. Inhale. Brilliant. So going from side to side, feel that connection around your middle. Try to make this as smooth as you can. We're keeping that lovely angle at the knee. Float. And down, lovely. Last one to each side now. Breathing out. And in. Exhale. And inhale. Well done. Lower back down. If you need to, bring your knees and feet together. Just go into a lovely little hip roll from side to side. Just releasing any tension that you're holding here. Because now I'm going to turn this into a double knee fold. So from here, we're coming into our curl up just like before. So breathe out, curl up, and then maintaining the height of that curl up, I'd like to lift leg 1, leg 2, lower leg 1, lower leg 2, and lower back down onto the floor. So we exhale, out, out, in, and lower down. Breathing out, float, float, lower, lower, and down. Out, float, float, down, down, and through. Let's go 4 more times like this. So we're just adding in extra challenge. If this is too much, just stick with that signal knee fold. And we'll go 3, and 2, toe muscles coming down and in, and our last one now, curl, float, float, lower, lower, and lengthen down. Well done, good. So turning your legs from side to side again, enjoying a little rest, because now we're adding in a toe tap. So, starting in your double knee fold, let's bring our legs up 1, 2, and then come into curl up. Settle yourself here, and whilst maintaining that curl up, we tap one leg down, inhale, return. Exhale, tap, inhale, return. Feeling that connection around your middle now. Exhale, tap, inhale, return. Exhale, inhale. So smoothly going from side to side here. Let's go 2 more times on each side. Brilliant. Last one's here. Down, up, and then take your legs down. 1, 2, and replace your head on the floor and turn your head from side to side here. Well done. Okay, so from here we're now going into our hundreds, and I'm going to give you a variety of options to try. Option 1 is you can just go into your double knee fold, connect your feet and take your knees apart, and then extend your arms so that they're thigh height, mid-thigh height. We go into our pulses here, so 5 pulses for the breath in and 5 for the out breath, all the way up to 100. Our second option is coming up into our curl up and doing exactly the same here. And our third option today is we're going to add in a toe tap. So as we pulse, we tap one leg down and tap the other leg down, whilst maintaining the height of the curl up. Now, if at any point that gets too much for your head, pop your head back down onto the floor, and you can still do exactly the same movements, but without that tension through your neck and shoulders. So that's a really lovely option to try. So let's get into our position to start, and I'll count you through. Remember, we're trying to keep everything else completely still, just moving our limbs rather than moving our bodies and our head as well. So setting yourself up. So if you're going into those toe taps, you have to have your knees slightly further apart, so we're slightly turned out. That's going to help you just support your legs a little bit more. Come into your curl up, extend your arms, and let's breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still your arms, take your hands behind your head, lower your head down, take your legs back down, 1, 2, and rest here. Well done. Let's pop the cushion back underneath our heads. Bring your knees and feet together, and just from here go into your lovely little hip roll. So knees going over to the side, back through to centre, and over to the other side. So you're just enjoying a little rest here. Well done. Good. Final couple here. And let's come back through to your centre position. Well done. Rolling over onto your side and pushing yourself back up to a seated position, because we're already halfway through our class. So well done so far. Time for a quick break and a drink, and I'll see you back on the mat shortly for some more Pilates. Hi again. For the second part of our class today, we're in the side lying, working on the strength of our legs and our hips. So I'd like you to come round onto your side, and we've got two positions that we can set ourselves up in. The first one is where you have your legs lengthened out, and I'd like to have your cushion between your outstretched arm and your head. So your head is nicely supported by your cushion and in a long line with your spine. The second position is you can have your hands in your head, your elbow on the floor, and you're lifting up from the mat through that lower waist. So this is a little bit more challenging and puts a little bit more pressure down through your arm and shoulder and your hip as well. So have a go and find whichever suits you best. Today I'm going to have my head on my cushion and have that arm outstretched. Now let's bring that lower leg forward slightly to about 30 degrees, or you can have that knee bent at a 90-degree angle. And whichever you choose, I'd like you to make sure that your shoulders and hips are stacked so you're in a lovely long line on your side. So from here, that top leg is extended out in line with our spine. Our top hand is either on the floor or on your hip or up in the air depending on how you're feeling. And we're going straight into a side lying kick. So pointing that toe lightly. Let's take a breath in to prepare, and then breathe out, sweep that leg all the way forward, and then draw that heel back behind the line of your spine. And again, we sweep that leg forward, draw back with control. So sweep and back. And again, sweep forward, drawing back. Lovely. And again, let's go 5 and 4, 3, good. So you're using that lower leg like an anchor, 2, keeping your body completely still, making sure you go behind the line of the spine, and our last one here, sweep that leg forward, draw that leg back, and then rest that leg down. Perfect. So now we're going into our lift up and down. So still keeping that other part of your body still. Let's lift that leg up and then turn the thigh in the hip socket so you're in a slight turn out position. From here, we lift that leg up with control and then lower that heel back down to the floor. So point that leg, lift up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, float. Inhale, lower. Exhale, float. Inhale, lower. Brilliant. And again, let's go 4 and 3. Point to lift, heel down, and our last one, all the way up and lowering down. Well done. Give that leg a little bit of a rest, and because now we're going into our side lying circles. So lifting that leg up and pointing that toe. Tummy muscles coming up and in so our shoulders and hips are stacked. Top hands supporting ourselves on the floor, and we're using the centre of our hip as the centre of our circle. So going behind the line of the spine as much as we do in front. We're circling that leg around nice and smoothly, keeping that leg as long as you can. Brilliant. So let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pause here, and now let's go 8 times in the other direction. So smoothly moving that leg around. Good. 5 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lengthen that leg down. Bend your ankle and bend your knee and grab hold of your ankle to come into your lovely quad stretch here. So you're just bringing that knee behind you, opening out through the front of the thigh, right into that hip socket, and enjoying how this feels. Enjoying a lovely stretch down the front of that leg. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. So releasing that leg, and then let's take both legs to a 90-degree angle. Get hold of your cushions and blocks and support your head on those blocks with your arms sandwiched out in front of you. Now, we can use the weights for this if you wish, or you can go without the weights. We're going into our side lying bow and arrow. I'm going to use my weight just to add a little bit more challenging. So, you're stacking your shoulders, hips, knees and feet. Toe muscles coming up and in. We breathe in to prepare. And then as we breathe out, we draw that arm up, like you're drawing a bow and arrow, turning your head, open that arm out, and sweep it back up and over. So exactly the same movement as when we do this in our standing position. So turning your head, opening that arm, sweep the arm back up and over. Really nice and smoothly like this. Drawing back, open, and sweep. And as you get into this, you might find that you get a little bit more rotation through your spine. So we turn, open, up and over, keeping your knees heavy on the floor. Lower arm is acting like an anchor here as well. Brilliant. Let's go. 3, and 2, and our last one now. Drawing all the way back. Open the arm and sweep the arm back up and over and drop that weight back down onto the floor. My contact lenses are really bad today, by the way. That's how I have to keep sitting up and looking because they keep swizzling round. So from here, give your shoulder a bit of a roll round because we're coming right over onto the other side to do exactly the same here. So bring yourself around and setting yourself up either with the cushions underneath your head or with your head in your hands supported like this. I'm going to go with my head on the hand on this side. And I'd like you to have that lower leg either at a 90-degree angle or out in a long line at 30 degrees. You're going to lift up through that lower waist, and we're starting with our leg sweep forward and back. So this top hand can either be on the floor, on your hip, or up in the air. Keep that top leg nice and long. Breathe in to prepare and breathe out, lightly pointing your foot. Let's sweep that leg forward and then draw that leg back with control. Sweeping forward, drawing back. And again, sweep forward and back. So that lower leg is acting as your anchor. You're keeping your upper body completely still. So we're just making sure the movement is coming from the leg. This is fab for strengthening through your hips, thighs, and your spine as well, because you have this long lever, that is your limb, working and moving here. Let's go 3, and 2, and our last one now, sweeping forward and drawing back. And then lower that leg down. Give us a little bit of a tap if you need, because now we're going into those side lying lift and lowers. So before we start, let's turn that leg in that hip socket. So you're in a slight turn out, pointing your toe, breathe in to prepare and breathe out. Sweep that leg up and lower that leg back down. Point and lift and lower. Point and lower. And now we're doing a great job to make sure we're not moving our spine at all. So we're not hinging back with the hip at any point. Let's go 5 and 4 3, oh, I can feel it now, 2, and our last one now, lifting all the way up, lower back down and relax that leg. Oh, I can really feel it on that side. Perfect. So now from here, going straight into our side lying circles. Remember that the centre of the hip is the centre of your circle. So as you take that leg back, you can really feel the side and the back of the leg and the glutes switching on. So back into your setting, well, to your start position here. Make sure your toe muscles are coming up and in. Lengthen that leg as much as you can. And now we're going to draw circles around. So going 8 times in each direction. Circling around here. Keeping your body as still as possible. Now let's check that that top shoulder isn't coming up around your ears. Let's go 5, 4, oh, this feels really tricky on this side. 3, 2, and 1. Pausing here, and now reverse, go the other way. My leg feels like lead today. Good, keeping that leg super long. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that leg down and give that leg a little bit of a tap all the way along the side. Well done. So from here we're going to bend the knee, grab hold of your ankle and come into your lovely quad stretch. So bring that heel up towards the bottom and just opening out down through the front of the thigh now. So breathing in and out to relax here and just enjoy that openness. Good. 2 more breaths here. And then release that leg and place it back on top of the other. Fab. So getting hold of your cushions now. Let's stack our cushions and come into our side lying bow and arrow. Now your weight is optional. We're going to try and do 12 of these. So set yourself up with plenty of room around you. Your legs at a nice degree angle and your hands sandwiched together. So make sure you've got plenty of cushion behind you so that when you turn your head is supported. Lifting it through that lower waist, let's check that our knees, hips and shoulders are stacked. Hands together, breathing in to prepare. And now as we breathe out, we draw the top elbow back, rotating through the spine. Open that arm and sweep all the way back up and over. So we draw the elbow back and through. Open the arm and sweep. So combining rotation with that lovely opening through the shoulder. Rotate, open, and close. Lower arm stays on the floor, and that is your anchor here. And sweep. Good. And again. Rotate, open, and sweep. Let's keep our knees glued, hips facing forwards. And go 5 more times here. Great. And again, so we exhale, exhale, inhale, and 3. Good. And 2. And our last one now. Drawing back, opening that arm, and bring the arm all the way back up, over and down. Well done. Push that weight away, and then smoothly I'd like to push yourself up through to your 4-point kneeling position. So we're going to come round here and grab hold of our resistance bands. So make sure you've got plenty of room around you. Take the band and make sure it's nice and wide. So you're going to wrap it around the back of our spine and trap the ends underneath your hands. So you need to make sure there's a little bit of resistance in that band And then come through and set yourself up into that 4-point kneeling position. So you're going to feel like the band is pulling you down into the floor, but you're pushing up against the band. So although you're in a static position here, you're already working quite hard. Before we start, let's check that our knees are underneath our hips and our hands are underneath our shoulders. Nice long spine here. We're not locked out through the elbows. We're just going into our shoulder drops. So toe muscles coming up and in. Breathing in here, and as we breathe out, drawing our shoulder blades together behind the line of the spine. And inhale, press away. So exhale, shoulders come together. Inhale, press away. And now because we've got the band, you've got a lovely amount of feedback here, so you can tell what is going on through your spine and your shoulders. Good. And again, shoulders in and press. Let's go. 5 and 4, 3, good, and 2, and our last one here. Shoulders coming together and pressing back up. Oh, I could feel that. Hopefully you could too. Sit back over your heels. Give your wrists a little bit of a roll around and a rest, because now we're doing exactly the same, kind of the same concept, but using our bands to help us with our cat and our extended cat. So, same position to start. So we've got the band around the back of the spine. Nice long spine here. Lots of space between our fingers. Breathing in to prepare. Now as we breathe out, we tuck the tailbone underneath. And bone by bone, start rolling all the way up, pressing your spine into the band. Head comes down last of all. And then as we inhale, we send our breastbone forward, bottom back, and really deepen that lumbar curve. And again, so we tuck the tailbone, rolling all the way up, pressing the mat away. Head comes down. And we inhale, breastbone forward, bottom back, deepen the lumbar curve. So we're really trying to get this sequential movement, starting with the base of the spine and the bottom, pressing away, and inhale. So if the band isn't really doing anything, just make the band slightly tighter, and we'll hopefully give you a little bit more feedback about what is going on through your spine. Lengthening through, bottom back, breastbone forward, and let's go 3 more times here. Tuck and roll. And 2. Good, and our final one now. Tuck and roll, really arching through. So this is a lovely movement to get that sequential action in your spine. Lengthening back through to your extended cat position. Come back through to neutral and sit back over your heels. Well done. Take the band off and give your wrists a roll. So from here we've got 2 options. We're going to try our leg pull front prep, but if this is too much for your wrists and your arms, you can go into a simple single leg slide and challenge yourself to keep your hips completely level with the mat. So going back into 4-point kneeling position, hands underneath your shoulders, toe muscles coming up and in, and from here we slide one leg back, reaching through the toe, and inhale, draw that knee back in. Going to the other side, we exhale, slide, inhale, return in. So nice and smoothly, lengthen the leg, draw back in. This is option 1. You can see that I'm keeping my hips completely level with the floor. Let's go 3 more times on each side, and then we can either stick with this or ramp it up a little bit. Good. 2. Brilliant. And our final one to each side now. lengthen, and through, lengthen, and through, and sit back over your heels and roll around through your wrists. So that is option 1, and I'd like to stick with that or come into option 2. Option 2, back into 4-point kneeling position. You're going to slide leg 1 and tuck your toes under, and then slide leg 2 and tuck the toes under on that. So you're in a high plank position. Inhale, leg 1 back. Inhale, leg 2 comes back as well. And then we repeat. So we slide, slide, inhale, inhale. Lovely. And again. Slide, slide, return, return. Perfect. And again. Slide, slide, return, return. Now really focus on keeping your hips level with the floor now. So you go 4, 4, and 3, jaw relaxed, shoulders relaxed as well, 2, and our last one, sliding away, and back, and sit back over your heels. Well done. Roll around through your wrists. So we're now going to practice our next section. I'm going to give you 2 options for this as well. So option 1, which we can practice, is back into 4-point kneeling. Now remember, if this is too much for your wrists, create fists here, or roll the mat over so you've got a lovely padded surface. We're going to slide one leg away and then lift that leg up to hip height without moving your spine. Lower the leg down, bring the knee back in. Then we do the same to the other side. We slide the leg away, lifting up, lower, and down. So let's just practice this a little bit. If you feel like you need some extra kind of feedback about what's going on, add in your squishy Pilates ball onto your back. And if that falls off, you know that you've tilted through your hips. That's a nice option to go. So we're just going to go again. Slide, lift, down, through, slide, lift, down, through. Brilliant. And again, slide, lift, down, in, slide, lift, down, in. Let's go 2 more times to each side now. Slide, lift, down, in, final one to each side, and our last one, slide, lift, down, in, sit back over your heels and give your wrists a bit of a rest. Now you can either stick with that or we can go into our leg pull front prep with that leg lift. So it's a lot more challenging for your arms and shoulders. And again, just be careful of your wrists, so give it a go, but if it's too much, don't worry about sitting back, taking a rest, or going back down into the option that we've just practiced. So back into 4-point kneeling. We're going to do that same leg pull front prep where we took our toes under. So nice neutral spine and pelvis. We slide our legs 1, 2, and then I'd like to lift one leg up in line with the spine, lower that leg back down. Second leg goes up, pointing the toe, lower down, bring your knee back in, knee back in. Let's go again. We slide, slide, lift, lower, lift, lower, in, and in. Perfect. And again, slide, slide, lift, lower, lift, lower, in, and in. Brilliant. So hopefully you can get into a rhythm with this. We're going to do 4 more ones of that. Whilst you're doing this, make sure you're bringing your toe muscles up and in so your spine is really nicely supported. Let's go again. Slide, slide, lift, lower, lift, lower, in, and in. And again, slide, slide, lift, lower, lift, lower, in and in. Brilliant, let's go. I can't remember how many more times, let's go 3 more times. Lift, lower, so imagine lengthen that leg, it's being pulled back towards the wall behind you. And our final couple here, slide, slide, lift, lower, lift, lower, in, and final one now, lengthen and lengthen, float, lower, float, lower, bring your knees in, sit back over your heels, and give your wrists and your shoulders a bit of a rest here. Well done. So just go rolling round, getting some movement through there, pressing down if you need to. Well done. So that was a lot of pressure going down through your arms and shoulders, but this is so good for your bone health, your bone density, your weight bearing as well, particularly in your arms and your shoulders. Well done. So when you feel like you're ready, we're going to come back into 4-point kneeling to practice our thread the needle. So back through, hands underneath your shoulders, and we're just going to start by floating one arm up through to shoulder height, and then exhale, thread the arm through, back of the hand goes along the floor to bring your shoulder down, and then we inhale, press up and through. Going to the other side, lift the arm up, thread the arm through, rotating through the spine, and back to your start position. Well done. And again, we float and thread, press and back, lift, thread, drawing back. So really enjoying how this feels, rotating through and press, lift, thread, drawing back. Good, let's go 2 more times to each side. Float, thread, and back, float, thread, drawing the shoulder down, trying to keep the weight forward rather than pushing your bottom back over your heels. And we'll go our final ones on each side. Lift, thread the arm through, draw back, lift, thread, drawing back. Well done. Sink your heels back over your hips over your heels, and roll through your wrists, getting confused there. So just enjoy rolling around. So that was a lovely way to just get some rotation through our spine and just work into our shoulders and our arms. So just coming to sit nice and tall now. I'd like to sit however suits you best. Thinking about the weight going down evenly through our sitting bones, drawing it through the crown of the head. Let's just roll our shoulders back, getting a bit of release through there. Nice and smoothly. Perfect. 2 more times here. Now let's reverse, go the other way. Good, keeping your jaw relaxed. Brilliant. And so from here, just turning your head, maybe easing out any tension you've got here, turning your head from side to side. Feel like I just need to, after all of that hard work we've done today, tucking your chin in, looking up and back, keeping your shoulders relaxed and down, passing back through to centre. Let's take our arms out, take a nice deep breath in and breathe out, bring your arms up, have a lovely stretch here, reaching through and press the arrows away. Good, let's go one more time like this, so arms all the way out to the side, lifting up, have a lovely stretch up and back, press the arrow away, and I'd like to give yourself a nice clap. Well done! Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed the class. I hope you enjoyed doing that deep core work halfway through. Please do let me know how you get on. I always love to hear from you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week for some more Pilates. Until then, take care, and I'll see you soon.